Alright, Countertop. It's going to be done by RJS Stone Tops down in Richmond. I wasn't allowed to do the installation myself because of the warranty policy. So they came to measure, went back to fabricate, and then came back to install. I didn't want to get in their way filming, so I didn't. But we did spend a lot of time researching, visiting showrooms, going over all the pros and cons of all the different materials, and in the process ruled out granite, marble, and quartzite. And these are the latest samples of quartz, various colors from various brands. So for this kitchen, I have 3 requirements regarding the countertop. 1, the color has to be light beige or cream. This is key and something I planned into the color palette from the start. You won't see it for a while, but when all is said and done, there's going to be a lot of natural wood tone in the kitchen, and I need this beige to act as a separator to balance out all the different materials. 2, it needs to appear like a solid color from far. So playing the role of a balancer, it can't be very loud or noisy or have a striking or repetitive pattern. It needs to be a safe neutral, and its job is to tie in all the elements around it without competing for screen time itself. 3, it has to be non-porous. Marble is actually what I truly wanted and still want, but I also have to be realistic, even with sealers and all the other preventative measures. Who are we kidding? It's the wife. This is Caesar stone, a Terra Blanca, seafoam from Omnia, Caesar stone cloudburst concrete. This one is a rough finish, they call it. And then we have Adamina. This is a honed finish, Cosmopolitan white, and then Alpine mist. And those are all from Caesar stone. Another look during daytime. Also seeing how they would look potentially as a backsplash. Potentially. One thing I don't understand is what all the rage is with the Calcutta series. I know they're the trend right now. This one happens to be from Silestone, Eternal Calcutta Gold, but every manufacturer offers these Calcutta series, and I can't seem to like them. To me, they kind of look plastic that's been sprayed on with an inkjet, compared to something like this. I mean, this to me looks very convincing. In fact, all these feel more stone-like than the Calcutta stuff, which is more expensive. It's probably the trend premium at work there, but I don't know. You know? What do I know? I don't know. Alright, they're coming tomorrow to do their measurements, so I'm just gonna remove the placeholder tonight. Just remove the sink countertop, and you can see I didn't use any silicone. I didn't want to deal with scraping when it came to take these off. So I puttied it. And it works just fine without all the mess when you have to remove it. But tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, they're only measuring tomorrow, but when they come back to actually install, they're going to silicone as part of their standard procedure. So all these spots here where the patina is gone, it only takes that just looks so out of place, you know? And it'll stay like that too. Unlike these, which I was going to say, within a few days it'll start to disappear. Prior to measurement day, I had sent them a number of pictures, along with all my notes, everything I thought was necessary to mention, including the very important request where the front edge of the island be aligned exactly to the end edge of the peninsula unit. I also sent them where and how big the faucet cutout should be, along with the faucet diagram, the sink diagram, and the range diagram for reference. Okay, just finished the measurements. He left some general markings on here, 2-inch overhang on the sides, 1 at the front, 2 here, and 14 inches of polishing on the underside, 2 at the end, 2 on that edge, 1 at these fronts, 1 again, faucet cutout, and then this goes to the corner. And as far as the cabinets, he said everything was leveled, so no adjustments needed there. So it's been 11 days now since the measurements. They are finally done with the fabrication. They're coming by tomorrow morning to install. So once again, I'm gonna remove the placeholders. When this is off, I do need to add one more stretcher right above the dishwasher. And then the only other thing that they asked me was to make sure that this area was totally cleared. So here's the extra wide stretcher. I've already glued the trim, poly the front and the underside, and pre-drilled everything. So they just installed a sink counter. They're outside right now getting the island. But I noticed they scratched up the sink pretty good. I think if this was a stainless steel sink, this would be a big problem, but they're kind of lucky it's copper, because in about 3 weeks you won't see these anymore. I would still like to see them be a bit more careful though. And now for the fourth secret requirement that my wife doesn't know about, and that is this countertop must also work in one of the 3 bathroom renovations. Because at some point in the future, I may rip this out. Just the island counter, that is. And use it for the bathroom vanity. And because the island counter is not a balancer, it can be slightly more fancy than the sink or the peninsula. I just didn't want to complicate matters right now with 2 separate stones and supply timelines and all that. And also, I may end up not ripping this out after all, but at least now I have the option covered. Here's the peninsula. If I didn't mention already, we did pick the Omnia Seafoam in 3 centimeter. So the phone's white balance is kind of throwing everything off, but in person it's not pure white. There is some light beige to it. And then here is the sink counter. I already showed you the scratches, but the 1/2 inch reveal is nice. I'm just doing the final test to see if they were able to make my request possible. I told him in the last email that it's very important to me that this edge line up exactly. And it looks like it's off already by about 0.5 millimeter. And about 2 millimeters here. So to be honest, I don't know what to do about that. That is going to bother me quite a bit. If you're wondering what this is, it's our stove. Now that the walls are painted and the cabinets are installed, I don't want them accumulating grease by cooking without a hood. So we use a couple of butane burners on here so that we can use the range hood when we're cooking. Anyways, aside from the edges not lining up, and I know what that sounds like, but whatever, and the scratching of the sink, which again, in a month's time, it'll be a non-factor, everything was a nice fit. And this is exactly the look I wanted. I know that right now it looks like just a lot of white, but when all the other elements come in, it is going to balance out nicely. So there it is. That's it for the countertops. And that's about that.